best time to fish for perch is before and after spawning, but the catch is also good in autumn. If you are fishing in flowing waters, then anglers are advised to look for this fish in the gravel bottom, while in stagnant waters it is most often found on underwater elevations. On their slopes, perch patiently wait for their prey. In flowing waters, fishing is usually done at depth to avoid constantly throwing a float that the water can carry to the shore. One of the biggest problems when fishing for larger perch specimens is their smaller brethren, which simply attack any bait that comes near them. The only way to catch larger specimens is to know the water well, and in that way to see for yourself where it would be best to cast the hook. As for the season, autumn would be ideal for fishing for this fish. At that time of year, perch form large schools on the bottom of the water in order to migrate together to the deepest parts, where they remain until winter. During this period, they are particularly voracious and aggressive. For deep-sea fishing, rods with a casting weight of 20 to 40 kilograms, up to 3 meters long, are used. The nylon should be 0.20 millimeters thick, and the hooks should be 4 to 6. The system itself is designed so that the lead is on the bottom, and the hook is attached about 10 centimeters. It is preferable to use hooks with a longer neck for easier guidance, because the perch can swallow the bait deeply. If you are fishing in some calmer waters, then it would be recommended to use the float fishing method, which can be sliding or fixed, depending on the depth of the water and the length of the rod you are using. It is important that the float is large enough so that the ketter does not sink it. In this situation, the bait should also be near the bottom. Many fishermen have a dilemma whether to use nylon or line, because when using line, the fish has come off the hook very quickly. Experienced anglers recommend using a line to set the drill on the reel to have less resistance. Perch can also be caught with lures, smaller wobblers, and numbered 2 butterflies. The results are relatively worse with silicone lures, twisters, and shads. Although the use of silicone lures can be recommended for inaccessible places, silicone lures are then used with less difficulty. When it comes to perch fishing, it is important to note that there are different tactics that are used, depending on whether you are fishing for a smaller or larger specimen. For example, for smaller specimens it is characteristic that they attack every bait that the angler throws throughout the day. It has happened that this is, in fact, the only fish that bites during the long summer days. Smaller perches can most often be found in hidden places where some object covers the surface of the water, for example, a tree or large grass. If you see roots and stumps, then that is a sure sign that there are perch there. And even then, don't be surprised if you catch pike while fishing for perch, and vice versa. If you use worms as bait, then you should know that they are quite a big bait for perch, so they will take a break before deciding to treat themselves. At first glance, it looks like they are playing with the bait. The float first starts to sink, but soon begins to vibrate. At that moment, you should remain calm and do not try to do a counter. In this case, a counter is a sure mistake. What you should do is wait for the perch to completely take the bait, and you will know it because it will completely submerge the float. If you happen to be late with the counter, then it is possible that your hook will remain in the stomach of the fish you have caught. The counter should not be given as soon as the float dances on the water, but wait a little. How long to wait can never be said exactly and is a matter of experience.